spokesmen, almost spokespersons, behaving like they're the spokespersons and the representatives of the Taliban. But the reality is that there is a full-blown war that's broken out at the border between Afghanistan and Pakistan. Those are the pictures from the Kunar province in Afghanistan as the face-off continues. We are hearing that mortar shelling was also reported. We have a couple of videos that we've been broadcasting through the day. We'll put out both the videos that we have. And the videos that we have, Sriram and Dr. Sriram Chola joining us on the broadcast. It's something that they're really trying to sort of censor, hoping that it will pass amidst the din of, and this period when, the whole world is sort of distracted with Christmas and New Year. It's holiday season, but it's the biggest headline, Sriram.
Niranjan, this border dispute between Afghanistan and Pakistan goes back a long time. Pakistanis thought that once Taliban take control in Afghanistan, they can finally fence the border. They have been trying this like 2,600 kilometers long, and they have been attempting to fence it. But see, from the Afghan point of view, be it Taliban or earlier governments like Ashraf Ghani or Hamid Karzai regimes, see, there are Pashtuns on both sides, and they are the same people. And the point is, Pakistan cannot, deny Pashtun people their right for self-determination. That's how the Afghans see it. So now there is a Pashtun nationalist force of Taliban in power. Of course, they have been backed by Pakistan, but at the same time, they are under pressure to fight for the sovereign rights of Afghanistan against Pakistani arbitrary fencing and settlement of the border dispute on Pakistani terms. So now the Pakistanis have realized that, it's not going to work out for them. They thought they can dictate terms, but it's not happening because there is an Afghan reaction against the Khyber region. The Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province of Pakistan is an artificial province. It actually belongs to Afghanistan. Historically, you go back in time. It was not part of the British India also. So now they have, taken it over, and they say it is now a province of Pakistan. This is not acceptable to the Afghans. So I think this, and then there is the TTP factor also, Niranjan. These so-called Pakistani Taliban, they have a war against the Pakistani state, and now the Pakistani state has to beg the Afghan government, of the so-called government of Taliban in Kabul, to mediate between the Pakistani government and the Pakistani Taliban. So Pakistani state, they thought that they had won the war in Afghanistan. They were celebrating. The ISI chief was in Kabul. We all remember those visuals as soon as Kabul fell. But it's coming back to bite them. There is a jihadist violence inside Pakistani territory, and the Afghans are not willing to accept the border that Pakistan wants to impose on the Afghans. So this is going to be actually fracture the situation more and make life very difficult for Pakistan. Pakistan always, they have been, they create the Frankensteins and then they pay a very heavy price. And today we are seeing that in the form of this border war or many clashes that we are seeing at the Durand line.
Yeah. Okay. Raghav Sharma joining us on the phone line, an expert, Dr. Raghav Sharma. What do you make of this video? In fact, a few days back, very interestingly, Dr. Sharma and also Sriram, we had this video of a clash, a face-off almost at the, I think it was the Torkam border. I have those pictures as well. I'll just play that out. And, the Taliban is heard telling the Pakistani forces, the border forces, Dr. Sharma, they're saying, Pakistan, go back. And, this issue has come up even in the Pakistan Parliament, their National Assembly. And it's a big scandal that, that Pakistan can't sort of look away from. I mean, they were trying to portray themselves as the global ambassadors and spokesmen of the Taliban. But clearly all's not well. Dr. Sharma?
Well, this is not entirely unsurprising, and there is a historical precedent. Look, Pakistan has always supported the Islamist constituency amongst the Pashtuns. So before the Taliban, they had nurtured Gulbuddin Hekmatyar in the early 1990s, hoping essentially to create an Islamist government that would not be Pashtun nationalist in its outlook. That has been the underlying rationale for Pakistan's support to Hekmatyar and subsequently the Taliban. And it has failed miserably on this count earlier as well, because the Taliban, when they were in power between 1996 and 2001, they never recognized the Durand line. And these clashes are not something that have taken place now. We've had these clashes in the 20th of December in Nangarhar province along a small area called Goshta in Ningarha. They've removed, not just had clashes, they've removed the border fencing. And this was pretty much expected, at the level of the foot soldiers. Because soon after the Taliban had gained power, many foot soldiers were asked, what are you going to do with the fencing? They said, well, wait for us to entrench ourselves and then we'll rip it out and sell it off in the bazaars as scrap. And that's pretty much what is happening at the ground level. But the real question I think we should be asking is it really going to fundamentally alter the relationship between Rawalpindi and the Taliban? I think over there I have my doubts if it's going to, at the moment, bring about any fundamental transformation. Because remember, the Haqqanis who control the levers of power in a very big way in Kabul at the moment have very substantial political and economic interests in Pakistan. They're very closely intertwined. So yes, there is going to be friction and there is going to be tension. There is a historical precedent for this. But I'm not sure if this is going to fundamentally alter the dynamic of the relationship between Pakistan and the Taliban. The Pakistan has been notoriously silent on Imran Khan's recent remarks in Pashtun culture, for example, at the recent OIC conference. So I don't see this altering the dynamics very dramatically at the moment.
Agree with you. Completely, Dr. Sharma. Sriram, the fact that it's also come up in the Pakistan National Assembly, what do you make of it? I mean, it comes at a time when there is so much of an internal turmoil within Pakistan, and with Nawaz Sharif sort of, planning a comeback, and Imran Khan being on the back foot, and Pakistan is almost celebrating this OIC speech to say that, they've portrayed themselves as the champions of the Islamic cause. But will the situation blow up? What's going on at the border?
Well, Niranjan, I think it's a reality check for the Pakistanis. They always overestimate their own abilities to play realpolitik games and to, beat their rivals and to expand their influence across the borders. They have failed with India miserably many times, and they've been defeated in many wars. And they thought they could control Afghanistan, through this Taliban victory. But it's not going to be easy at all. These are indications that there is going to be a blowback effect to this terrible game they have been playing. And the thing is, the TTP factor, as it's called, the Pakistani Taliban factor, they are now openly back at war with the state. There was a ceasefire, it broke down. And the Pakistanis are saying, we are so disappointed with our Taliban brothers, meaning the ones in Kabul, because we hope that once they come into power, everything will be all right for us and we can, impose our will and have the cake and eat it too. It's not happening. So it just shows how poor their strategy is. I mean, they thought that they had actually this whole situation under control and they were actually victorious on August 15th when Taliban rolled into Kabul. But now it's quite clear that Pakistan is struggling to contain the fallout of this change in Kabul. And the blowback effect is tremendous. There are refugees, there is drugs, there is weapons. Then there are these TTP terrorist groups moving freely across the Durand line. So they are not able to control it. So how will they do it? They are hoping that somehow they can use the humanitarian aid and other things for the Kabul government, the so-called government in Kabul, and mellow them down. But I fear that the worst is yet to come. And of course, Raghav is right that still the Pakistan and Afghan Taliban, links are very strong. But then these incidents could flare up and could actually show the limits of the Pakistani colonial project. They want to expand. They want to dominate Afghanistan. And it is clear that they are failing in that and they are going to be having many, many setbacks.
Completely. And it's a situation that could easily blow up. It could very well easily blow up. We've seen what's been going on. I'll get one last word from you, Sriram. If India is watching what's going on, and if you look at their approach vis-a-vis Afghanistan, what would they be thinking right now?
Well, on one hand, India, we have had a vote in the Security Council about humanitarian assistance and about supporting the Afghan people. and we have a clear stand on that. And secondly, we are working with the Central Asian countries. The dialogues have intensified to try and contain these external ramifications of the Taliban takeover in Afghanistan. And definitely, if the Taliban are willing to challenge Pakistani, unilateralism and attempts to impose their will on Afghanistan, we should have a discussion with them to see how we can, cooperate in some limited ways. Of course, it's a long way to have our diplomats back on the ground in Kabul, to reopen our embassy and to restart our development projects and all that. That's still a long way to go. But if these Afghan Taliban, if they really have now in control of the state and want to protect and defend the territorial integrity of Afghanistan now, if that is their goal, if nationalism is their goal, then India will have a receptive ear for such a country, because that will help to keep the Pakistanis busy on their western front.
Yeah, completely. Okay, Sriram, thank you for joining us with those pictures and your take on it, because, these pictures, in fact, when we, it's very surprising that no other media house in India is even covering what's going on. Very, very surprising. It's a serious situation. The fact that, mortar shells are being fired at the borders between Pakistan and Afghanistan. A few days back, Republic TV brought you those pictures of the Taliban asking the Pakistan forces, the border forces, to literally get out. They heard saying, Pakistan, go back, in Pashtun. And this morning, these videos come in of the firing at the Durand line. Those are mortar shells being fired. It's a situation that could escalate any time now in the borderline between Pakistan and Afghanistan, and we're the only channel that you can expect to be way ahead